Hello everybody, welcome to Ageless Rock. This is a channel where if you put on your megalithic lens, you will see things from a different perspective. It is a perspective more interesting than you can imagine. Today, we will pay a visit to Mikael Amba rock cut church in Mesal village of Tigray region in Ethiopia. Africa is a continent we know very little. Generally, we only think of it as a place made up of mostly desert where Africans are scorched by the sun every day. The total land area of Africa is approximately 30.3 million square kilometers. Based on my rough outline, approximately 12.1 million square kilometers of African land are tropical or very green with lots of rain. That means about 40% of Africa covered with vegetation should have enough water for everyone. Mikael Amba Rock Cut Church is on a hilltop approximately 2,500 meters or 8,200 feet above sea level. No hiking or climbing is required because it is accessible by car all the way there. Mikael Amba Church is believed to be a product of hardworking Ethiopians in the 11th century. This is extremely impressive if you live here 900 years ago. But the facade gave me a clue that the megalithic culture established themselves here first. The two rows of rectangular holes are undoubtedly a tool left behind by the original unknown ancient builders. They are useless and we are clueless. No one can say for sure what they are for even though they are seen all over the world. We have one row of rectangular holes in Cappadocia in Turkey. There is a same concept of rectangular holes with niches that make no sense in Yungang grottos in China. If you are in Greece, check out Prison of Socrates. Snoop around and you can find a row of rectangular holes as well. At Jogeshwari Temple in India, there is a row of rectangular holes too big and too long to be unnoticeable. But no one is asking what they are for. Because they are not made with our tools from our civilization imprinting our architecture with our technology, it is therefore still a mystery why they are where they are. Whoever did these monuments are international travelers doing global businesses that has nothing to do with religion. Another feature I would like to highlight is that there is a section of the wall with striations that is not due to chisels. The machine that left this tool mark is capable of long cuts at an angle. Look at the man by the window and you can get an idea of how big the tool mark is. These are the main things mainstream are not interested in because everything must fit the narrative that ancient Ethiopian Christians did this. Here is a satellite view of the church. People tend to overlook the incredible amount of bedrock removed prior to carving a church in the bedrock. The yellow dotted outline is the large amount of bedrock removed. You can estimate the volume of bedrock removed if you know the age of the bedrock and make a rough estimate of the height. In order to create this seven-sided church out of bedrock, you must first deal with a hilltop with a slope. From the outside wall, I can see the structure was sliced off like clay with a tool we will never know. The amount of work to create this with ancient chisels is unrealistic. The latest civilization discovered it and used it as a church. They surrounded it with modern walls, which is similar to megalithic sites around the world. Everyone will stand in awe, admiring at the front of the church, admiring the creation of a monument we don't really know how it got here. But first, before it became useful, there are some modifications needed. The windows were too big and the entrance too tall and too wide. If this was done with the intention to make a church, why was irregular rectangular shapes carved so high? Where is the original door? I believe 900 years ago, wooden doors were available in wooden huts. But where is the wooden door for this magnificent church? The useless rectangular holes were left untouched and remain original. If we can solve the mystery of the niches, we might have a better understanding of the tools used by the unknown ancient builders. As I explained in Wukro Churkos Church and Abriha and Atzbeha Church, a hilltop was identified first. Then, a huge amount of bedrock was removed to create a church that looks like an outcrop. The amount of bedrock hollowed out to be used as a church is relatively less work compared to creating a courtyard. When the original builders were satisfied with the product, the exterior was without any sign that it was meant to be a church. The bedrock of a hilltop was reshaped, but no depiction of anything that resembles Christianity is a little bit suspicious to me. There is no cross, no Jesus, no Mary, no saints, no biblical stories or anything that makes you think this is a church. The wall on the right side of the photo shows that later civilization merely made use of the existing monument. The wall is a simple stack of stones collected nearby. If the original builders needed a wall, they would have left that part alone and there would have been less chiseling to do. Another interesting feature of the facade is that there is a vertical line from the door to the top. This is a tool mark rather than architecture of an ancient facade. A view from the bottom looking up shows that it is a smooth surface that was not done by chisel. The smooth flow from the higher level A to lower level B seems like a technology that can soften the bedrock and was shaped like clay. If it was done by chisel, then removing the chisel marks is another colossal project for the entire interior and exterior. Another feature of megalithic sites are the mysterious rectangular holes in the bedrock. Since this is a church, mainstream says they are baptismal pools. If this is a palace, then the largest water tank will be described as bathing pool for the king. But common sense says rainwater collected over a long period of time is too putrid to be for baptism. Based on the population of this area, I don't think you need more than one big deep pool. Before any baptismal rites can proceed, dirty water has to be pumped out and the rectangular hole has to be cleaned. Then, new water has to be pumped in so that a few Christians can be baptized. If this tank is for baptism, then it should be dry and has a roof over it so that when needed for baptism, you only need to fill it in with clean water. We actually don't know what these holes are for. Even if they actually use it for any purpose, it is ridiculously large. Carving a hole so deep without carving a step ladder defies common sense in construction. This hole can be made useful by simply carving steps on the side, but yet Ethiopians prefer ropes. It is obvious to me that later civilization found a hole too big for baptism. The interior boasts of impressive high ceiling averaging 6 meters tall. There are 25 pillars where 9 are freestanding. Overall, the interior is a mind-boggling monument of space hollowed out. You can see as many photos as you like from the internet, and you will probably notice that any pictorial representation of Christianity are the modern printed pictures. It is lacking even in ancient murals, a typical scene a tourist would expect to see, just like those in other rock-cut cave churches. The overall impression I get from this ancient monument is that the interior and exterior are very lacking in depiction of Christianity. No cross, no Jesus, no Mary, no saints, no biblical stories or anything that makes you think this is a church. Instead, you have nice smooth surfaces with 90-degree angles that looks like a product of a high-tech civilization. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation on Michael Amba Rock Cut Church where when modern but primitive civilization meets ancient but advanced civilization, there will be no writing on the wall. See you in the next video and have a wonderful day. This is Berniong signing out. Dehenahun.